Hey, this is Malika of Evanston Live TV, and I have with me a very special guest, Miss Erika Walker. First of all, Erika has a ton of titles. She's president of We Will. They're about women empowering women. They help women and children get involved in legislation. She's a diversity consultant. She's on the board of the UN, so she's traveled the world helping people to understand diversity, and she helps corporations throughout the country. I mean, she's on a Zoom every day talking to school districts, kids, getting in trouble, using the N word, all sorts of madness. She brings
Yep.
the calm to the storm. And she's an author. She's written a book called A Woman's Vault, which we definitely have to get into. Because, yes, I do believe women, we are vaults. We will take stuff to the grave. Okay. And we do not open up always. So, yes, I can't wait to
Yep.
hear more about this. And she's AKA, she's the soror to our Vice President elect Kamala Harris. So her titles go on and on, her accomplishments. And so I am honored to have with us today on Evanston Live TV. And we can't forget, she sells wine. You
This is
all,
the important part, Malika. Yeah. All that other stuff was cute, but this is the important part.
she sells wine, and it's not just any wine, it's clean wine, and it's really, really good. It's healthy. If you're all into health and wellness, especially going into 2021,
Yeah.
Scout and Cellar is the wine for you, and Erika is the one to get it for you. So, welcome to the show, Erika.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy to be here. This is my favorite. These are my favorite topics, so this is going to be good.
Well, let's start it out with a toast. I have some Prosecco here. Oh, look.
Lovely. I have some Chardonnay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Who says we can't still celebrate via
Exactly.
Zoom?
Exactly. Mm, mm, mm. Wait, let's
All
do
right.
one more. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Here's to saying goodbye to 2020. It was bittersweet. It was some positive and some
Yeah.
challenges, but
Yeah.
it was some silver lining in a lot of it.
Yes.
Well, we had to pull out the silver lining.
Yes.
We had to pull out the silver lining, and yes, we had to pull out the silver lining in a very uncertain time period. And we are looking forward to 2021. Yes.
For sure. Now we really need to toast to this one. That's big.
Yes.
That's big. All right.
Mm, mm. Yes, girl. Mm.
I like this interview already. When you get to start off with two toasts, I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. Just
Yes,
saying.
yes. Erika, God, girl, I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start definitely with the wine, because you do so many things, but you are like, you're passionate about diversity and helping women and children and people all around the world,
Hmm.
travel the world, and you got off into wine. Like, how did that happen? Like, how
I
did that
know, and
come
that's weird, right? But it's funny you said I was passionate about it, because I don't do anything that I'm not passionate about. Like,
Mm,
I really, really believe that it's unnecessary. I think a couple of generations back, sometimes you had to just do what you had to do. And I mean, not that I won't do that temporarily, but I'm not gonna put my all into something just because. So how did I get into wine? Because I love wine. I mean, really, it's nothing bigger than that. A friend of mine, Sarah Jane, which I believe you know,
mm,
talked to me about clean crafted wine. I didn't even hear clean crafted, I heard wine. And she said, I can do a wine tasting at your house. And so I've been to wine tastings before where I had to pay for them. So I was like, well, gosh, I wonder how much that's going to cost. And she was like, it's complimentary. I was like, girl, come, please, come on over. And so I had just recently bought a house, and I decided to have a small wine tasting, what do you call it? Wine tasting home warming gift thing. And I just tried the wine then. And then after I tried it, she's like, well, you seem to be enjoying it. You may want to get into the business. And I was like, I don't have time for that. She's like, just trust me, get into the business. At minimum, you can have discounts on your wine. And I was like, all right. So I did that for a minute. And then I really started to pay attention to this business, Malika. I am getting slightly older, but I am really conscious about what I put in my body. And it started to really dawn on me, this clean crafted thing, it really means something. So not to ramble on and on about it, but what it means is we don't have any added sugar. So a lot of times when you drink wine and you have a few glasses and the next day you have a headache, that's because there's a lot of sugar in there and it's a lot of extra preservatives and pesticides and all that. We don't do any of that. It's just like old school way of making the wine. So I was like, you mean I can make a little money and I can have healthy wine? I'm down. So here I am.
Now, Erika Jane, she came by my office when I was doing marketing for this doctor. And so I put on a wine tasting with
Sarah Jane. Okay.
Sarah Jane.
That's all right.
And she didn't offer me to sell wine, so I must not have been she must not have seen the talent in me, I guess.
You probably weren't buying it at the volume that I was buying it. You see,
maybe that's it.
After a while, she was like, "Okay, you're gonna buy this much. You should probably shift over here
and make some money on it."
Yeah, but you and I could talk about this after this call. We would love to have you if you'd like to share wine with other people.
Yes. Well, the Scout and Cellar wine tasting is so nice how it's laid out. I remember Sarah Jane coming out and she just really laid it out. So I think a couple of the doctors bought wine, and so I know, knowing you, Erika, you are about class and elegance and things being so yes.
We do our best, but I tell you, the company really sets you up well. They have tons of development that you can do online. The wine really speaks for itself, so I don't really have to sell it. I really just have to share it. And the first time, if you're not a sommelier, you're like, oh, I don't know. But we're not pretending to be. Some people are, but I know what I know about wine. I share from the heart about what I like about it. I have, specific information about each wine, and we just go from there. Yeah.
Well, with you traveling the world, doing the work, being on the board of UN and being a diversity consultant, did you taste all the different wines in every country? So I'm sure you've got like this palate, this taste for wine that most don't have.
Well, you know what? I really don't know if I do or not. I don't have anything to really compare it to, but I will tell you, when you're traveling on business alone, what you end up doing is treating yourself to a great dinner and great wine, because that's really it. I mean, sometimes you hang out with clients afterwards, but sometimes, business is business. And so you ask for great recommendations and you want to taste the cuisine and you want to kind of live it up, since you're wherever, if you're in some part of Italy, you might as well. So yeah, it's been kind of nice. That part has been kind of nice.
What would you say were some of the best wines in the countries you visited?
I'm going to say France. When I was in Paris, at that time, I didn't know about additives and all of that. And so they don't put a lot of extra stuff in their wine either. So the first thing I realized is, how come I'm drinking all this wine and I'm not tipsy? Well, that's because it didn't have all that junk in it, right? So, but I didn't know that. All I thought was, and something about France, they really got this thing figured out. And then fast forward to Clean Crafted, because then, by the way, I started to try to buy French wine in the US, but it wasn't the same because we were putting all the crap in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the ticket. That's what it is. Yeah. So France is my place. Italy second. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't get tipsy on their wine?
I mean, if you have enough, girl, of course, but I can easily have 2 glasses, maybe 3, but usually 2, and I feel just good. And everybody, and I mean this, my mom says this too, you don't have to be a big wine person. If you start drinking Clean Crafted wine, and then you switch back to regular wine, you really do notice a difference. So I see somebody's on the line here who might be able to attest to that, but it literally tastes lighter and cleaner. And so when you stop drinking it and you drink some other stuff, you're like, oh, wait a minute. And not that it's bad, it's just different. So the end.
Now you had a bottle.
I will say I agree.
Oh.
I do agree with that statement. And I'm missing my shipment right now. I was like, where is it? Erika, is it late? I mean, or am I a complete alcoholic? I drank it all already.
I don't know. It shouldn't be late. I have some coming tomorrow. So I hope yours comes tomorrow.
Maybe it comes tomorrow then. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I'm in the wine club for those who, and I love it. And it does taste cleaner. It does take light, and you don't get a headache. It really makes a difference.
And you know what else, Malika? Sorry. A lot of times when you are bloated, a lot of people stop drinking. So I have friends that stopped drinking wine, period, because of the sugar. And they started drinking only hard alcohol, and they mixed it with flavored water because they were getting a little pouch, with their stomach. But you don't have that with this wine either, which is really a big benefit, because I have a lot of friends that were kind of going through that, myself included.
Now you had a bottle delivered to me last week, and it was so good, and it felt light. Yeah, I didn't feel full. It felt light, and I had a nice buzz, a nice clean buzz.
Exactly.
It was mellow. Thank you.
Which one was it?
It was a red.
Was it a Pinot Noir?
It was a Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we have these really cute little sample bottles. And that's what I sent all of the board members. It's just a little sample. And so what's cool about this is it's just that. It's a sample. So if you don't want to commit, or I opened a full bottle today, but if I just wanted to have a glass, it's just a glass. And then you don't have to worry about opening a whole bottle. But this is also how I try different ones. So yeah.
I should have got those as gifts. Darn it.
All right. They had a really big one actually that had like 20 something in there for that reason, but they sold out very quickly. So yeah,
I can imagine the holidays is like busy for you. Industry.
Oh, you are drinking wine. Let me go get mine. Okay.
Well, of course. Come on now.
We've all got our wine. We have another guest on. Willie, you have your wine. Donna's going to get hers.
Everybody. I didn't see anybody. What's going on?
Willie, you're on mute. Do you have wine there? No.
You're on mute, Willie. Okay. So Erika.
I don't know what happened there.
Say it again, Willie.
I don't know what happened there, but no, I don't have any wine.
Oh, you're gonna have to get you some wine.
Actually, I just got on quickly when I said yes. I forgot I had the grandkids this weekend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We understand.
Erika, so the reds are my favorite. Pinot Noir, Cabernet, Malbec. Those are my favorite. What are some others that Scout and Cellar sells?
So we sell all of those, and we certainly do Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio. People often say, you have Moscato. We don't do Moscato. We have Champagne though, Rosé. So we've got really everything. We've got everything. And what's really neat is it gets delivered to your home. So even though it's busy for me during the holidays, I'm not schlepping wine around. People are more calling saying, hey, what do you recommend? And then based on what they tell me they've liked in the past, or, kind of what their varietal is, then I make some suggestions. So yeah, we do it all. I want to show you something. This is so heavy. But we do these really cool gift sets for the holidays. So that way, even if you if you have it delivered, it's already pretty in a package, you know? Not that you have to do it that way, but it's a really neat thing to do, and it has a little card in it. So
Erica, have you done a wine tasting in Evanston?
I haven't, but I would be glad to.
No, it's asking because I thought maybe I went to one a couple of months ago, and I was thinking, I don't know what company you're with, you know, if they were from the same company or not. A
Probably.
girlfriend of mine had one.
It could be. Sarah Jane, who is pretty popular in Evanston, is also sells Scout and Cellar wine, and so she may have done something there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look
Really
at nice glass. See, I like that, Donna. I like it. Let's see your glass, Malika. I'm into glasses. Nice.
Mhm.
I do have to brag on my glass because it says, "He sees you when you're drinking."
That's cute.
Hi, Chris.
That is very cute. But I have become obsessed with glasses. Like I cannot put wine in just something. I can't do it. And I have to tell you, Malika, the real reason that I'm in this wine business, don't laugh at me, but when I was little, I'm an only child, but I have a lot of aunts, and they were very glamorous to me. And when I would watch them, it always looked like they were, sitting and, with their friends and having wine. And I always said, okay, when I get to be an adult, I'm going to sit and I'm going to have wine with my friends, and we're going to drink out of nice glasses. And I literally have never forgotten that. So, and I'm not kidding. Sarah Jane recently asked me, well, what is your why for getting in this business? And the real why, beyond loving the taste and the money and all of that, is because I am super busy. It reminds me to chill out. It reminds me to just have some fun. It reminds me to be girly. That's the real reason. Everything else is secondary. So yeah.
Does Scout and Cellar sell wine glasses as well?
We do. Really pretty wine glasses. Yep. And a lot of other accessories. So very nice. Like this keeps your wine chilled. So got these and just a lot of other little things, t-shirts, wine bags, but yeah, we sell glasses.
Now, a friend of mine, this gentleman that I'm dating, he uses this, what do you call it? I don't even know what you call it, but it takes the air out of the
Air
wine.
out.
What is it called?
I think it's a aerator, I think, but I'm not actually sure, but I think that's the technical name.
Yeah, I think I've heard it called aerator.
Okay. Do you all sell that, or do you advise?
We do,
that
girl. We
that?
sell all.
Is that necessary?
Yeah, because if you want to preserve, once you've opened the bottle and you want to preserve it and make sure that the taste and all is the same, you want to take the air out and cork it back so it can be maintained. I also like these rubber corks because they tend to seal it in more than some of the other cutesy ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Willie, what's your favorite? Are you a red or white?
White. When I drink wine, I prefer champagne.
Well, all right.
Yeah, but I do drink wine. I'm surprised I don't have any in the fridge at this house. I'm at my daughter's.
Is she in Evanston
I have
too?
plenty at home.
Oh, okay, good. Very good. I'm a big champagne person too, Willie, just because it makes me feel good. So
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And it's light. You have to be careful depending on the brand you get.
Scout and Cellar, you'll be good, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now explain clean, exactly clean, when you say no chemicals are in the wine, because I don't think people even people just think it's grapes that's in the wine. Like, how can you mess up wine?
Right. Just imagine just like chicken, right? Chicken used to just be chicken. You get it off the farm and, somebody chops it and, kills it, and then it comes to the store and that's that. But then they started injecting the chickens to make them larger, right? And feeding them all sorts of crazy stuff to make more money. Well, the same with wine. There are wineries that use pesticides on their grapes, right? Which we don't do. Then once the wine is made, they will add sugar to it because sometimes people think that makes it taste better, in their formulation or whatever you want to call it. They add other additives to try to preserve the wine more. So what we do is literally nothing. So the sugar that's in our wine came from those grapes. So, everything else is clean. That's just what it means. Like we're not adding anything else in there. So I'm going to read a couple of things, not that this means anything to the average person, but most other wine has like 10 grams of sugar. We have about 2 to 3, or has more like 16 grams of sugar rather. Other wine has copper sulfates, mega purple added, GMO ingredients, synthetic pesticides, all those kinds of things that we just don't do. That we have a 2-step process, testing. We test our wine all of the time. If you don't pass, you can't be a part of our stuff, and a lot of wineries don't pass our tests. So that's what we mean by clean. It's just grapes, less than usually about 4 or 5% grams of sugar, and it's residual sugar that's already in the grapes.
Now, what are the different types of deliveries? Can you get a bottle a week? Can you get 6 a month? Like how does all of that work?
A bottle a week, Donna, we might need that one, I don't know, but so you can
A week, a day.
So you can get it monthly, you can get it every other month, you can get it quarterly, and you can start with just like 4 bottles, you can do 6, 12 on up. So whatever works for you. So I get it delivered monthly. And you'd be surprised, it really doesn't last that long. So I have 6 bottles delivered monthly, and that's for me to consume. But if I happen to have a tasting, then I use 4 of those already. And the cool thing about the when you become a part of what we call our circle, our wine circle, our wine club, is they choose the wine for you, right? So you say, I want all white, or I want all red, or I want it mixed. And then they make the selection. And what's good about that is it allows you to try different wine, because I try wine, I love it, and then I want to order the same thing over and over. So if they send me stuff that I haven't tried before, then I add something else to my repertoire here, but I also order more of that if I really like it. So, but that's how it goes. It can be as frequent. We don't have a weekly one, Malika, but close, but close.
These days you need a weekly one. Are you kidding me?
No, that's all right. You just order 12 bottles a month. That's all. And that way you have more than enough.
You have more than enough.
Yeah.
How do you handle the wine tastings with COVID happening right now?
Well, I'm not having them. Right until, really November, we could still have them outside because the weather was still good, and I have heat lamps and other people have heat lamps. So we could do like 4 people outside, be socially distanced, and still be outside, and it worked out. But now not so much. And even when our numbers were getting a little better, I had one in my house, about 4 people, we were socially distanced. But when we started to really spike, I just cut it out. But what I can do sometimes, if people are really interested, is I'll drop off one of these, and then we could sample that way via Zoom. And so, we try to make it work that way. And that's all we can do right now. But most wine drinkers, I'll tell you, they try it anyway. You know, if you've never had wine before, then that would be different. But if you know you like Chardonnay, and I can make a couple of recommendations, people usually taste it that way.
Now we have a guest on the line, Jean Valentine. Hi, Jean.
Hey,
Do you have
Good evening, ladies.
good evening.
Pleasure to be with you.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jean, are you red or white or
I'm
champagne?
red. I am red.
You are red.
okay.
Absolutely.
Jean, do you have some wine with you? That's a prerequisite for this call.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I wasn't aware.
Okay, we'll let you stay. Can we let him stay, Malika?
Yeah, you can stay, Jean.
Okay.
You can run in and get you a glass right quick. Definitely.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
So yeah, Jean, we're serious over here. He's like, oh, they're serious about this. We are.
So I've seen a lot of women do the scout and cellar, selling the wine. Do you have men that go out and rep as well?
We do, but it is mostly women, and I'm not sure why that is, because there are a lot of men that drink wine. You know, they drink everything, right? So I'm not certain why that is, and the business is certainly open to everyone. So maybe as we move on, they will start to do that. We are growing like wildfire. The wine industry, I think, is at 8 billion with a B. And we did we're going to do 100 million this year, just our company. So we are really doing well. And I am happy that it's woman owned. That makes me happy, and that there's so many other women like myself that have their own small businesses because of it. So yeah, it's very cool.
I would imagine during COVID, like the sales would definitely go up.
They did. Indeed, they did. They did for the whole alcoholic beverage industry, but certainly, you know, ours was super convenient because it's delivered to your home. So you really can't get much better than that. Oh, I have to tell you, we now do something called a mixable. So it is like kind of like a gin or a vodka kind of thing. But you can mix it as the same way you would anything you would use with vodka or gin in it. You can mix it, and it's really, really good. Yeah. This is, and I was surprised. It took me a minute to try it, but it's really good. One has ginger in it. Oh, it's nice.
Oh, that's
Right.
good.
Also clean crafted. Because at first I was like, well, what do you mean a mixable? I'd never heard of that. I'm like, is it gin? Is it vodka? What is it? But it's a white liquor, but also clean crafted, and it's nice. Yeah, we don't have any sample bottles of that, but you should try that.
Okay, we're gonna have to try that. I see Jean got his wine.
All right, Jean.
All right,
There. Thank you.
Nothing like a little Merlot.
Exactly. You got it.
Yes, yes. So Erica, you know, a lot of people get into well, you have to drink the red with the red meat. You have to drink the white with the seafood, or what are your thoughts on that? And then some people are like, it doesn't matter. I've heard chefs on Top Chef, I believe, a chef on Top Chef said, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, you just drink what you like.
Well, I really believe you should drink what you like. And, you know, a lot of people disagree, but I will tell you, so it's so, oh my goodness, look at him with this cute dog. I'm gonna have to bring mine on in a second. Okay, but I think you should drink what you drink. So a lot of times, if no matter what I'm about to eat or what I'm eating, I will start off with some wine, and that's just happens to be my favorite wine at the moment, right? It's what I'm in the mood for. But I can tell you that some wines that they've recommended that you pair with beef, I can tell that it does bring out the flavor. You know, you can taste it differently, if you will, when you pair it with what it's recommended for, but I don't think it's necessary at all. but I've noticed it, but I certainly don't let that influence my choice.
Mm, mm.
What I have done, now this isn't with our wine, but with other wine, I've just sort of kind of liked it. And then when I had it with, let's say, the beef, you know, if it was a cab and I had it with a good steak, then the cab tastes better.
Mhm.
But for me, it should have tasted good before I had the steak. So it's just my thought. But no, but it can bring out the flavors there. So, but I say drink whatever you love.
Now that's a pretty wine glass that you have. Is that a Scout and Cellar?
Nope, this is from somewhere. I don't know. I have gotten into collecting. A friend of mine, she's she's a black business owner. Her name is Laditra White. She's out of Atlanta. You can find her on Facebook. But she did this very cool wine carrier, and
Hmm.
I just think it's really cool. Yeah. So I don't know where the glass came from. These little knick-knacky things I find, and you know.
Well, I've learned quite a bit. I've learned the most about wine from Scout and Cellar than I lived in California. It was like tons of vineyards out there, so I would go to wine tastings.
Oh
But
yeah.
half the time, I didn't understand what they were really talking. I mean, they didn't. It was like they were talking over our heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were talking over our heads, and they just wanted our money. Just buy some wine. But I feel
Yeah.
like with you all, you're really educating us on what we're drinking, and
Mhm.
it's clean. I'd
Yes.
never heard of clean wine until
Yeah.
Scout Cellar.
Well, first of all, we are the ones that coined the phrase. But what they had before us is that it's vegan or organic, and most of our wine is vegan or organic. And again, you know what's happening with the soil, with the grapes, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's not a lot of organic wineries out there. And this company was started by like a real person, not that the other people aren't real, but she was actually studying to be a sommelier, and she was getting headaches when she was drinking wine. And then she started to get obsessed with, why am I having all these headaches? Like, what is the deal? I should be able to, after studying all night, have some wine. And so she came across what was going into wines, why this was happening, and here we are.
Hmm.
So yes, I do think we do a good job in educating, but also I hope the message that comes across is we just want you to enjoy it. Like, we find what you like and do that. So,
Mm, mm, interesting. So, how do people get in touch with you to give a virtual wine tasting until COVID dies down again?
yeah, so I would say if they just want to have a virtual tasting, they can email me at Erika, Erika, at thewalkerthomasgroup.com. And I think that's in the chat.
Mhm.
But I also think if you want to there's so many wine drinkers who say, I'll just try it, you could just go right to the site and try it. And that's at scoutandcellar.com/Erika Walker. And that's Erika with a K. So scoutandcellar.com/Erika Walker. And then you can play around in there and see it all. And for people who really want to know, Malika, about how it's paired, every wine that we have, if you click on it, it'll tell you the notes, this is full body, it's oaky, it's whatever. And it'll say best paired with fish and da da da. So if you want all that, it's there for you. And if you don't care, then I'm just saying. But it does also give you the history of that winery too, right? Which is also interesting. So
Now, I like the wines. My friends and family, they're like, "Girl, you like those wines that actually taste like the earth, that taste like dirt." I love that taste.
you like the earthy. That's what it's called, earthy.
I love it. The earthier, the better. I don't know what it is. I just love that taste. So,
Hmm.
what would you recommend on the Scout and Cellar list that's the earthiest one that you have?
I don't know the earthiest one. I would say though it's probably a cab. So what I would look is I would go to the site and peruse around the Cabernets and see, remind myself because we have quite a few.
Okay.
And then once I narrow it down, I call people and I say, hey, a friend of mine likes really earthy, full body, red wine. These are the two I selected. What do you guys think? They give me their perspectives because we also have Facebook pages, or I'll put it on there. Hey, I selected these two. What do you guys think? And they're like, yep, I'm with you on that. And that's how we do it. But it would probably be one of our Cabernets. We've got a really rich one, which is a Bernard, but it's super pricey. Most of our wine is pretty moderate, but that one's super pricey. And then we have this one called Middle Jane. It's a whole line. And so you'd probably like that too. But I will look it up for you.
Yes, please do.
I shall do it.
That's I haven't had a really good, the one that you had delivered last week. That one was really good. But I'm really looking for a real earthy, almost like dirt.
Yeah, that one would have been a little lighter. So a Cabernet would be heavier for you. So I'll look for one.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. And my mom is a rosé. She loves her rosé.
Well, we have some great rosés. We had some really good ones in the summer. I have to look and see what we're doing now. But in the summer, that was good. It's really good. Yeah.
And so when people get involved in Scout and Cellar, so you have your buyers and then you have your buyers that become part of the team.
Yep.
So do they get trained? Do they what's the process with making money at it?
Yeah. So if someone was interested and they came in under me, there are some training videos that I would direct them to. So we actually have a Scout and Cellar school. And so, but it's all online, but there are different modules that you go through. And then you can do that forever. So I haven't seen them all and they're always adding new ones. But as a person that's starting out, I would direct you to a few that the company recommends that you do. Additionally, the company will push that out to you and say, hey, welcome. Here are the things you should do next. Set up your site, which is kind of turnkey for you. Look at these 2 videos, blah, blah, blah. So it's really spelled out for you. It was simple. It is very, very simple. And so there's no amount you have to sell every month. So you don't have to feel burdened by that, which was good for me when I first started. I'm like, I don't want to be pressured. I have enough to do. But now I have myself on a particular goal. And based on my goal, of course, I make a commission and it goes up the more that I sell. So yeah, but it's easy and they have it figured out. I guess that's the biggest thing. Before Zoom, these videos were pushed out. And then periodically there are live events that you can attend. Of course, not right now, but later. Later.
And
But it's easy to make money though, I have to tell you, because everybody drinks wine. So this isn't a hard sell. And I do say this to my friends. I have a lot of friends who talk about they want to lose weight, right? Or they are getting older and they can't tolerate fried food anymore, or whatever the story is. And so I really look them in the eye and say, so if you're really serious about your health and your weight and all of that, how are you still drinking $3 Chuck? I mean, I drank it, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, but if you're serious about your health and you like wine, why would you make that choice? That's not even logical. So, yeah.
that is true. That $2, I thought it was $2 Chuck.
Yeah, $2 Chuck.
That stuff will give you a headache beyond belief. I don't even know why. I would go to events. I've been to events here in Evanston. I'll see that $2 Chuck and I'm like, oh my God. And that's all they have.
That's so funny. I could not think of that cliche, that $2 Chuck, because my husband was cooking and I said, do not use my expensive wine to cook. You better use that cheap wine. And so luckily he grabbed the truck, you know, the $2 chuck, and he used that because I'm like, if you use my clean,
Seller.
I mean, I will be so mad. But it's good for cooking and it's good for sangria.
Yes, I agree.
Mm,
I would agree.
mm, mm.
There you go.
Okay, so then you have a club, so people can just get regular shipments every
Yeah.
month.
Yes, every month or twice a month, or sometimes people start off quarterly.
Hmm.
And so almost everybody I know who started off quarterly said, okay, where's the wine? And I'm like, well, you ordered quarterly, so you've got 3 more months to go. And so then they start to do every couple of months, and then they finally get on like a monthly sort of thing. But you go at your own pace. Go at your own pace.
And how many do they get quarterly?
Whatever they decide. So you can do as small as 4 and up to 12. It's up to you.
Hmm.
And we make it very flexible, and also, you know, for your budget. You may want to do more, but right now you can't, and that's fine. And if you can, in the middle of that, you can order your own. So initially I was doing, I don't know, every other month or something like that, but I was also ordering it, right? And so I'm still doing both. I just get it ordered. I just get the wine club delivered more frequently. So. Because sometimes, Malika, people stop by too, like, oh, I need a last minute gift. Can I just buy this bottle from you? And I don't usually, you know, that's not how it really goes, but you know, I've got it here. So if you need it, yeah, you can do that. But then they take.
Okay. That's a thought. And people who don't drink, it's always good to at least keep a few bottles in the house for people who do drink
Exactly.
that come by.
For
Yes.
people like me who come by. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And they offer you apple juice and water. You'd be like, really?
Wait, can I tell this funny Erika story? Erika, please don't get embarrassed, but it's just, this was before you were even selling Scout and Cellar. And one day we were someplace and you were like, you know, I should give you something. Let me go in my trunk and get you a bottle of wine.
Oh, this is true. I remember that.
I was
That's
like,
true.
oh, you just have extra bottles of wine in your trunk, and you're like, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That is so true. It was your birthday or something. We were at the beach doing yoga. And
Right. That's right. Yeah.
I just popped the trunk. I was like, here's a bottle of wine.
Here's a bottle of wine. Oh, you need a glass? Here's a glass too. I love you for that. Yes.
Saying, man, you gotta be prepared.
I think you had a whole case of wine in your trunk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Keeps me balanced though. Keeps me balanced.
Erika,
Yeah, especially in the summer though, really, because you find yourself somewhere outdoors. It's like, well, shoot, we don't have any wine. Never fear, I have some.
It was a great lesson to keep wine in your trunk. I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
See, wine and a change of clothes. You just
On your
never
webpage.
know.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I did look onto your webpage, Erika. So I'm
Okay,
gonna walk around a little bit and take a look.
please
And
do.
I've bookmarked it so I can keep it.
Okay.
I need to learn a little bit more.
Well, reach out anytime. Did you get my email address? It's in the chat, I believe, right? Malika, is it
Yeah.
or no? Okay.
I put all the info in the chat.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
You got it, Jean?
Yeah, I've got it. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jean. I haven't seen Jean in like
It's been a few years.
since I was at Xavier in college. That was the last time I actually seen you.
I didn't know you knew Gene. I was like, well, it's nice that Gene popped on. I don't know who he is, but you know, nice to have him.
I've known Malika for a very long time.
All right. Do you
Something
live in
on-
Evanston?
No, I used to live on the north side of the city. I'm in Oak Forest, Illinois these days,
Okay.
southwest suburbs. But I saw
Okay.
something on Facebook about this meeting, and I wanted to learn a little bit more about wine, so I thought pop in.
Nice.
Nice. Cool, cool.
Well, Jean, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Donna Miller. I'm the commissioner for Oak Forest. So I'm glad you because that means you're a constituent.
I thought your name looked familiar, Donna.
Oh,
I
good.
thought your name looked familiar. I've seen a sign in the City Hall.
Awesome. All right.
Great.
Small
Well-
world.
Now you know I love wine.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wine from
Fun.
Erika Walker.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Well, Erika, thank you so much. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much for this lesson. And we will be ordering some wine. Most definitely, we need some around here for the holidays.
Good, good, good.
What do you suggest for New Year's in terms of champagne that you all have? What's your favorite?
We have a nice, it's called Galavant. It's a really nice bubbly.
Hmm.
So I would try that, but really all of our champagnes are good. I have not tried the rosé champagne, but Sarah Jane was telling me it was really good. So, but what they have out there now, it's all good. And I have it in terms of being prepared, like Donna said, I have champagne chilling just in case. Because you know, some one person may want to come over and social distance and celebrate something. So I'm ready. Laughing at me over there, but I'm real serious. But anyway, the Galavant is really good. But all the champagne we have right now is good. Tickle Bump, I don't know if we still have that on. I have to check. Some things rotate. So I have to see where we are. And some things sell out because in the beginning of this holiday season, I was promoting things that somebody called me. They're like, it's not there anymore. I'm like, oh, sorry, but it just sold out. So, so yeah, I have to literally check today, but all the champagne is good.
Okay, well, we have to have you back on. I'll probably do one. Do another wine tasting with Scout
That is a
Cellar
fine idea.
via Zoom and have a good time. This has been good.
Well, by the way, and I think Donna likes this idea as well. I have something called Wine, Women, and Woo. And so it is, and Jean, you can come, you know, to some of our events. But what I notice is that women get together and we have wine, and we might be at a work reception or, you know, like this. But what I find is something always comes out of that that is bigger than the intended reason for being there, right? You know, some sort of connection, some sort of learning that comes out of that. And so I call that the woo. So if you've ever been, and I know this happens with men in the barbershop, women in the beauty salon, you don't even know this woman. And the next thing you know, you guys are talking about really intimate details about your relationships or work, and they've really given you something you can use, and you leave and you might not even know her name, but that's the woo, right? It's this thing that we are able to create that is just bigger than I'm getting my hair done. It's bigger than the barbershop. It's bigger than, you know, I notice sometimes when I'm doing public speaking, I think the speech went well, but I'll go in the bathroom and there's some woman in there crying with me about something major. And that's the woo. That's bigger than the speech, you know? So what I'm trying to do is recreate that, right? And help us to all get that we can manifest that all the time. So all that to say, New Year's Eve, I'm having a wine, women, and woo thing. And what we're going to do is give ourselves a reason to dress up. So we're gonna get dressed up, and I'm gonna be on Zoom for like 2 hours, and I just want people to pop through and have a toast and keep it moving. So that is what we're gonna do. Yeah. So you should
I
be
like the sound of that.
come out about that in the next couple of days, because I figure we're not going to any big parties. And even if you are, you can still pop on Zoom for a second and toast with everybody. and go
Well,
on.
if you're going to a big party, we don't know you, so
Exactly.
we don't want to know you.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's-
Exactly.
But I know people are probably, I'm not, but I know that people are getting together with friends. It's gonna be me and the dogs here, but for those people, whatever you're gonna do, you can do it on Zoom for a few minutes, have a toast, get dressed up, say hey. So I think it'll be fun. And if not, it's okay.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I know what I'm gonna wear.
Listen, it doesn't matter if nobody comes because I'm gonna still drink my wine and
I'll be there with you.
and it's gonna be good.
I'll be there with you. I'm getting that rosé. Hopefully I get it in time.
I hope so.
I don't know.
You can. Let's follow up after the call, Donna.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Erica. And we have to have you back to talk about the book, A Woman's Vault.
Okay.
That'll be a total separate video interview. So I'm really, really
Cool.
curious about that. But thank you so much for the education today. And I've had Scout and Cellar, so I know it's really good. And I just want to help spread the word out there. If you want some healthy wine, vegan, organic, clean wine, this is the route to go.
That's right. And we need a balance, Malik, if I could just end on that. Wine to me is a mood, it's an attitude, it's drinking, but it's an attitude. It's I'm chilling out. It's for me, it's sexy, so we should just all have that in our lives. That's what I think.
That's a good note. That's yes. Let's do one more toast.
I'll toast to that.
Everybody, turn your cameras back on and let's toast.
My camera got disabled. I don't know how.
Wait, hold on. I was trying to make sure the camera's
Oh.
on Erica.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh,
All right, hold on. Okay, let me get gallery setting here. Okay, you guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining.
Mm. All right, this has been Evanston Live TV. You all stay tuned for more. We'll have Erica back for more wine talk and to also talk about her book. So you all stay tuned here. Evanston Live TV.